a strange enchanted world. They say he wandered very far.
Moulin Rouge is a film known for kicking the door in on the modern movie musical and reinventing the genre entirely. Released in 2001 and filmed entirely in Australia, it was a true spectacle that took the world by storm. Moulin Rouge should be added to the film history watch list in order to teach the chapter on New Hollywood. It is a perfect example of a New Hollywood movie and has many qualities that other New Hollywood movies have, except amplified to another level. Luhrmann pushes the genre to its limit through the use of unique visuals and full use of the film medium. He also is considered an auteur director with his unique style of 360-degree filming and collage editing. Moulin Rouge engages the audience by subverting their expectations and modernizing what seems like a normal period piece. Through these techniques, Moulin Rouge is molded into a unique watching experience that is unlike any other of its time. The Australian Renaissance of filmmaking started in the 1970s and gave way to many new directors, actors, and a new wave of movies on par with the Hollywood experience. Near the end of this wave came Moulin Rouge, a fantastical movie musical directed by Baz Luhrmann, which had many qualities of New Hollywood movies. Characteristics often associated with New Hollywood pictures included pushing a genre to its limit, highly stylized productions, and making the audience aware of the form. These characteristics can be seen in the film currently being taught with this chapter, Sisters. This Hitchcockian film is highly stylized in the way it uses many film techniques such as split screens, black and white zooms, and irises. These techniques make the audience very aware that they are watching a film. Sisters also pushes the genre of horror by tackling other topics such as race, gender, and mental illness. However, Sisters is not entirely unique, as it tries to mimic classic Hitchcock horror films of the past. Moulin Rouge, however, takes these qualities and amplifies them by 1,000. Moulin Rouge is constantly reminding the audience it is a movie anytime they break into song, a quality wholly associated with musicals. The film is highly stylized in its use of color, extravagant sets and costumes and dance numbers, creating a very unique look and feel to the movie. This is most evident in the can-can scene. This scene in particular is a cornucopia of sound, color, and astounding visuals. Movie musicals around 2001 had been poorly received and overlooked by the box office, often feeling like classic Broadway shows. Moulin Rouge brought the movie musical genre into a new era with its modern look and use of the film medium to its full potential.
Their children's end, naught could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage.
Luhrmann is arguably an auteur director and is known for a collage style of editing. This technique can be seen in the opening of Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet and in the Tango de Roxane of Moulin Rouge. Shots are extremely short and only give glimpses of what is happening, but the audience still has an idea of the overall narrative and setting. In these clips, we also see that Luhrmann is known for breaking conventional rules of cinema, such as the 180-degree rule. Luhrmann films in 360 degrees, giving the audience the feeling they are within the scene and a part of the action. Then, instead of artificial reality, an idea most other movies and musicals use where they try to be real but is set in fiction, Luhrmann plays with the idea of real artificiality, where his stories take place in a real setting but are sprinkled with wild fantasy. For example, the gun flying off and bouncing off the Eiffel Tower at the end of Moulin Rouge, or Ziedler being able to fly and do impossible backflips. During this wave of New Hollywood films, there was also a wave of auteur directors with specific styles. Now that this wave has ended, so has the intrigue for director stylization. But it remains an identifying feature of this wave in film history.
The hills are chanting me.
The hills are there. Frank is living in my fucking with the sound of music.
Moulin Rouge requires active participation from the audience. It is not simply a film one can put on in the background. It demands to be listened to and experienced in a way no other movie musical has done before it. Moulin Rouge starts by subverting the expectations of the audience by revealing the ending at the very beginning of the film. In the first moment Christian starts to speak, he tells the audience Satine will die.
The woman I loved is dead.
This creates a tension between the story and the audience as they hint at her death throughout, but the viewer is never certain when it will happen. Even then, when Satine's death finally comes, it feels like a gut punch. The audience has become so invested in her and Christian's love story that they have forgotten the foretold ending. Moulin Rouge draws in its audience and further subverts their expectations by making what seems like a regular period piece very hip and modern. Although the film takes place in the turn-of-the-century Paris, the costumes look like they could be worn today. All of the music used is modern pop hits done in a slightly different style. The classic Moulin Rouge dance hall has been transformed into a modern club, giving the audience a connection with 1900s Paris and making them relate to the characters more. The subversion of expectations and the modernization of classic tales is a running theme within many new Hollywood movies and movies of today's era. Unfortunately, these themes have become an overused trope with many poorly executed examples. Moulin Rouge is a perfect example of modernization and subversion in its purest form, and how, if done correctly, it can greatly improve the story and film as a whole. Today, Moulin Rouge continues to be the quintessential template for modern movie musicals and jukebox musicals. With its running theme of Bohemia and the Bohemian lifestyle, use of popular music, and unique way of filming, one can see why so many people relate to and love this movie. Beyond its popularity, Moulin Rouge embodies new wave Hollywood movies and should be added to the film history watch list in order to teach the chapter on New Hollywood. Although Moulin Rouge did not originally receive the recognition it deserved, it has become a cult classic that will inevitably be added to the halls of film history.